Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Greg McCloskey from ForexLive.com. This is a Kickstart video for May 23rd, 2024. In the Kickstart video, I take a look at three of the major currency pairs: the euro versus US dollar, the dollar versus yen, and the sterling versus US dollar from a technical perspective. So let's get started. I'm going to start by looking at the euro versus US dollar, and I'm going to focus on the hourly chart. And in trading yesterday, the price fell to the downside, and in the process we moved right down to this blue line right here. This blue line represents the 100-day moving average. And what do we do? The market found support buyers against that moving average because risk can be defined and risk can be limited in trading here today. Note here that the price in the European morning session did fall below that 100-day moving average. We had some mixed to still sort of weakish European PMI data, and that may have contributed to the fall. The price did move below that 100-day moving average yesterday. It turned buyers into sellers below that level, especially after holding the level yesterday. But instead, we found the snapback rally, and the price started to move back to the upside in early U.S. trading. We are moving higher here, despite what we saw was a little bit stronger than expected. Jobless claims data at 215,000 versus 220K expected in 223 revised level last week. So that's a bit unusual, but having said that, we came back up to the 100-hour moving average here, and we are seeing sellers against that level currently. The current price is trading at 1.08495. The 100-hour moving average comes in at 1.08533. Just below that 100-hour moving average is a rising 200-hour moving average at 1.08429. And guess what? These two levels are going to be the barometers for more bullish above, more bearish below. If the price were to move above the 100-hour moving average, we look for the top side of this trend line and look toward this high swing area. It goes back in time using the 4-hour chart. I won't show it here just for brevity sake. But those would be the targets that we look toward, in addition to the high price that we saw last week that eked above that level, that area, only to find willing sellers against that level. On the downside, break back below the 200-hour moving average, and it opens the door for the 61.8% retracement of the move down from the March high to the low that we saw in the month of April. And then below that, the key 100-day moving average remains a level that traders would need to get and stay below in order to increase the bearish bias in the euro versus US dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen next, and the price yesterday toward the end of the day moved above this high price going back to the 14th of May. That you can see it here, but then rotated back to the downside in the early Asian session, traded higher and lower above and below that level at 156.75. The high price did ascend to 156.895 before slowly moving to the downside and sort of trying to stay below the 156.75 level right here. That level is going to be a key level on the top side. If the price is going to go higher, we need to get above that 75 level and then get above the new high, going back to this intervention type days back here at the beginning of May. On the downside, if the price is able to stay below the 75 level, we'd look back toward the probably the rising 100-hour moving average, 156.21. It's moving higher through here, and moving back up toward this level right through here, which I had as a line here, a swing level. You can see how it was a high here, it was a high here, and then we sort of use that level of support through here before breaking to the downside. So a swing level around the 156.28 down to the 100-hour moving average at 156.20. So watch 156.75 on the top side as close resistance. If we stay below that level, then look toward the 20 type area for the dollar versus yen. Finally, let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. I'm going to focus here on the 4-hour chart for this currency pair. And the price action here, well, first I want to focus on this line right here. This line actually started way back here, and here where we had the ceiling right here, we traded above and below it here and then used that level as support before moving to the upside. Got messy through here with a couple times where the price tried to either find resistance or support in that area, but was messy before the market fell to the downside, and then reestablished this area this level as a swing high here, and then moved back up toward it here, found sellers, and over the last week of trading, this week of trading, we traded above and below it, admittedly, so it's been kind of sloppy. But in trading here today, the market did sort of kind of find support against that 127.07 level, above the 127 level. So that's going to be a level on the downside that we'll be watching the short term. If the prices can stay above that level, it's more bullish for the sterling versus US dollar. On the top side, we've been trading above and below this swing area through here. Again, kind of messy as the market tries to figure out what it wants to really do up to this area right here above the 127 level in the pound versus US dollar. It's trying to stay more bullish, but having a little bit of difficulty in doing so. If we are able to stay above the 127 level, let's just call that as support right now. Then just look for the higher wander to the upside, or we could break to the upside if we really the market gets a head of steam under it. Remember, we had CPI data which came in a little bit stronger than expectations, so it took some of the steam out of or added some steam, I guess, to the pound. Pounds moved to the upside a little bit, so that from a fundamental perspective. So getting above 127.60 would be the next target, and then we'll look up toward this swing area up through here, which goes back in time for the pound versus US dollar for getting above that area around the 128 level. So that's my technical look at the three major currency pairs: the euro versus US dollar, the dollar versus yen, sterling versus US dollar. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye bye now.